What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back. Here is the long-awaited collection update video. It's been a couple months since my last video. I was on a small, buying break, but that kind of stopped, and we're back. We're back in business, back to collecting, back to selling. There's been a few updates to my collection, but this is currently split into 3 shelves here, which I think is perfect. I almost added a 4th just to create a little bit of more, room for these fragrances, but I think they're sitting fairly comfortably with 3 shelves. Here on the top shelf is some of my favorites, a little more high-end ones. Not that, these ones aren't either, but these ones are more loud and more oud throughout. But I'm not sure what my last update was, to be honest with you, but I know these 2 are some of my favorites here. So this is the Marc Antoine Barrois. We got an Arige Ladore Al Oud a couple months ago as well. Traded a few fragrances for that one, but glad to have that in my collection. I am gonna try to purchase the new Arige Ladores next Saturday when they go on sale. But here's Al Oud, which I have talked about in the channel, I think. Guerlain's Mitsuko in the back. You got my Serge Lutens Musk Kubla Khan, which is an absolute favorite of mine. Here in the back we have all of my Rojas. So we got Fetish, I already forgot these names, UAE, what's that one called? I'll remember in a second. Oud, Amber Oud, Diaghilev, Sweetie Oud. You got Midsummer's Dream. You got the, I did get rid of 2 Dior's that I had. I got rid of Leather Oud, and then I forgot which other one, but those I got rid of a little bit ago. I still have my Creed Royal Oud Millésime. Oh, and this is a Sultanate of Oman. I just remembered. I need some caffeine. It's that time of day for me over here. Happy 4th of July to the U.S. residents here. I'm having a pretty nice day so far. A little bit rainy, lots of floods here in Texas, but I'm having a good day. I just put this shelf up today and just organize everything, and I feel whole. I feel complete. Big collection update from me is this. I meant to make a video on this a while ago, but that kind of took a back seat as well. But I used to have, I think, 6 or 7 Chanel's less exclusives in my collection, and now I'm down to 1. So that's a big change for me, in my opinion. I used to have a bunch of those and kind of cut down on those. I did trade a few of them for to a friend over here. So I got my Arige Ladore, and she got some of my Chanel's, which, was it a good trade? I don't know. I've worn this one a couple times, but it's gorgeous. It's just really dense and really hard to wear. But I'm glad with what I have right now. It's been good. I also did get some pairs of boots for some Chanel's. I traded those as well. So Chanel's has been a great bargaining tool for me. And then we have these 4 at the front. So the 4 horsemen, we got Vanille Van Cor de Oud. You got the Knight. You got Promise, and then we have the Moon here. All great. I've been wearing a bunch of these. I always wear the Moon to special events and dinners and stuff like that. And then same with Promise. I love wearing this one to bars. Yeah, I'm wearing it to a couple dive bars here. But that's my top shelf. Like I said, a bunch of heavy hitters. Not daily wear, is if you want to call that, but I still wear them whenever I like. Second shelf, we have, starting at the left here, we got Andy Towers Au Cours du Désert, which I absolutely love. I actually do have another bottle of Andy Tower coming in this coming Monday. I ordered their new fragrance, Shadid, and that one was limited to about 225 bottles. It's taken about 2 weeks to get here, so I'm curious to see how it smells, and glad to have another one of those in my collection. And then we have my Les Abstraits here in the back, followed by Les Indémodables. So consider this Antoine Lee corner over here, and we have some randoms in the back that kind of look nice against the wall. You got I pressed the wrong button on my camera, but here we go. So these are just fragrances here in the back that just look neat, very pretty bottles. We got Shalimar EDT. We got an old bottle of Cristal from Chanel, splash bottle, gorgeous. This is another one that I acquired in a trade with a friend here in Austin, and this is Queen of the Night by the Merchant of Venice, I believe. Absolutely amazing. Every time I wear this one, it's really great. At first I didn't like the bottle, but it's grown on me a lot, and I do enjoy it quite a bit. So that was another recent acquisition this year. We have Moncler's Le Solstice, which is still in my collection. Absolutely love that one. Balenciaga Paris, and then we have Cartier Roadster, which I think I talked about maybe in some comments. I talked about it, but this is great. Nice minty fragrance. So very nostalgic smelling. We have Kuro CDT in the back, Le Male Parfum, which is another favorite of mine. Gucci's Memoir d'Un Adore, which is highly underrated in my opinion. Gorgeous tea-based fragrance, really cheap price-wise if you can find it at discounters, which I think that's mainly where it resides nowadays. And then we have my Frederic Malls here taking front stage. So you got all of those in the side. I can name them all, but you can read them there. Noir Peace, one of my favorites. These are all really great in my opinion. Music for a While, Portrait of a Lady. And you get Rosenqueer, which has been big on my rotation this spring and summer. Let me see. And then this bottom shelf is the remaining ones. So back corner you have Tom Ford's. We got Oud Fleur, Beau de Jour, which sadly has been discontinued, both in the private line and now in the regular men's line. That I think it got the axe recently. So if you see a bottle, definitely pick it up. One of the best fragrances of all time, in my opinion. Really great masculine fougere fragrance. And you got Black Orchid Parfum, Black Orchid Eau de Parfum, and then you got Tom Ford Extreme, which is a discontinued fragrance, followed by another discontinued Tom Ford fragrance, and that is Noir Anthracite. I picked up this recently as well. This is Davidoff's Silver Shadow, which is an old school fragrance, very powdery, very nice. And another nostalgic scent, just baby powder, Extreme. We got Terre de Metz Parfum. This one was a surprise hit for me. This is from Bath and Body Works. This is called Stonewashed. I went in there for their semi-annual sale last week, and they had, just to get some shower gels, because that's the ones I get for the year. Buy a bit of those, and they last me for a couple months. But decided to spray this on in inner arm, and I kept smelling it throughout the day, and I had to go back and get it. It was that good. I did buy a second bottle of this, and this was super cheap at 75% off, but came out to like about $12. But just very nice and clean, very long lasting, surprisingly, but very nice cheapy there. You have some other discontinued gems that I found recently as well. Did a little bit of a vintage haul, I guess. But this is Guerlain's Precious Heart. This is the I think this one was made by Frank Volkel, who has done a lot of Le Labos. But this was a 2004 release, I believe. But I have another backup bottle of this. It's just a very nice green fragrance, very woody, I guess, too. But in that nice Guerlain lightweight. And then this one is another discontinued Guerlain, which is called Love Is All. And this one's another interesting one. This one's extremely feminine. Smells like, let me just look at the bottle. Smells like hairspray, but a very pretty hairspray that your crush would wear, and it's kind of fun to wear that. Here we have Dior's Fahrenheit, Bois Mysterio, which I wore in the heat recently. Incredible stuff. This one I also acquired in a trade. I think I traded a Dias and Durga for this one. So this is Kajal's Lamar Noir, which has been incredible to me. I've used about 15 to 20 mils this year already alone. Just super fun. One of my favorites, has definitely climbed up the charts for me. It's just a very interesting chameleon-like fragrance. It's basically a fruity oud, but with a lot more character. You got caramel in there to add a little bit of sweetness to there, and then some other interesting notes are added in there. But beautiful fragrance there. Here's another vintage one that I found when I went to visit back home, and this is Gucci's Oud. And this isn't the other ouds that they have. This is just Gucci Oud, and this is, I think, either 2014 or 2016 release. Long been discontinued. Very hard to even find the name of this online, since the other oud fragrances in this line are take over. But this is just a very straightforward rose oud, which has a little bit of saltiness to it. Very reminiscent to MFK's one of their other oud alternatives. I forget the name of it. I think it's Oud Satin Mood or Oak Silk Mood. Very similar to one of those, that type of character to it, where it's a rose oud, but it's not dark. It's just very bright and uplifting. Next down the line is MFK's Oud Extrait, which I wore quite a bit. De Baser, which I wore earlier this week. Beautiful fig fragrance. And then the remainder of my fragrances here at the front are Le Labos. So we got Santal, Benjoin, Patchouli, Queer, Labdanum, Musk 25, Bay 19, and another 13. So that's my collection update as of now. I do have, like I said, I do have an Andy Tower coming in, so be on the lookout for a review for that. And then hopefully soon after that, I'll have some Original L'Adores to review for you. I'm very interested in Antiquity and War and Peace 3. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you would like to see any reviews on any of these fragrances. I know I've talked about a few here and there, but if you want like an in-depth review on anything, feel free to let me know, and I'll try to give you my thoughts on it. But pretty much everything you see here, I absolutely love. I haven't counted the bottles here, but I should be under 100, which has been, you know, kind of fluctuating up and down around that range. But everything here is absolutely amazing. I do love them. I do struggle to pick what to wear for the day still, which is, you know, and these are all bottles that I love to look at as well. So it's a win-win for me. All right, guys.